Good morning. Good morning.
Hey there, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm just getting everything set up here. What's your name?
First name Brian.
Ryan. Who invited you?
Noah did.
Oh, good. I love Noah.
Yeah, he invited me to come check out, see what you guys are up to.
Yeah, he has been such a great member of our little group here, our little community. So it has been wonderful to have him. So I'm
That's
just
outstanding.
getting some things set up. Kind of the first couple minutes are just people popping on and small talk. How's everybody feeling? Things like that. So I'm usually just walking in the door from dropping off my kids. So I'm like, all right, let me get my screen up and running. Good morning, Lisa. Is it cold up there?
Good morning. Um, no, no, actually, it's like warming up today. I feel like such a jerk, but like, this is just so nice and warm. I should be appreciating the warmer weather, put it that way. But is 37 degrees really warmer weather?
It's in the eye of the beholder because
You
you say
know,
to some Southern California folk and they would pass out. And but for
I,
you, that's a heat wave.
and I really, really enjoy going places where it's warmer. And the more that I get there, I'm at least heading west in a couple years.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Where do you live, Brian?
Hi.
I used to live in San Diego and I moved to St. Louis a couple of weeks ago, and so currently it's 41 degrees outside. So I feel you. Down
Oh,
from the 70s.
oh my goodness. Did you grow up in California?
I did, yeah, and I've lived all over the southern US. It's just wow, it's cold up this far.
So Lisa's in Fargo.
Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, you get like the 6 foot snowdrifts, don't you?
yeah. So a
Oh, yeah.
lot of
How
us
about
met and grew up in the Minnesota area. And
okay.
so, and then we've all kind of spread out to different places, but some of us escaped the cold. I'm in LA. So
Oh, that's outstanding.
for now, yeah. So we shall see. Angela's in the Chicago area here. See her popping on.
Very cool.
I'm going to try a different area today. Hopefully I don't get as much feedback. So I'm going to be messing with my screen a little bit, just a little heads up.
Please. Yeah, I always think of poor Anastasia. Her screen does this like flashing different colors strobe light thing, and she's like, I hope I don't give anybody a seizure. And none of us are like really know how to help her troubleshoot it. And so I'm like, it's okay. Just have a party over there. But your sound is much better today, Lisa. Sometimes there's a little bit more feedback, but it sounds a little better today.
Usually I'm in the basement. And so I got a little setup upstairs now. And I'm thinking it's going to make a world of difference. Oh, now I can, yeah. Plus, it's super cold in the basement too. Even worse than up here. Okay.
Heat rises.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It I've acclimated to California, so I get chilled here. I mean, every night I stick my ice cold feet on my husband's leg, like, warm me up, man. This is your job. And so I don't know how I survived growing up in Minnesota with my parents leave the house at like 65. Like, I mean, I go home to visit them and I'm layered and but I've lived in Georgia. We lived in South Carolina and Kansas. So we've been in much warmer states, even though each one of them does get a little chilly too. But yeah, we're getting ready to go on a cruise down to Mexico. So we'll be feeling hopefully pretty warm. We were checking the weather to make sure it wasn't going to be like, I don't know, surprisingly cold, but should be good.
What are your dates on that again, Sadie?
I leave on Friday and then I'll be back the following Friday.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for you.
So, first cruise, never cruised before. So this will be very interesting. I guess my dad, I think, said when I was little that he thought cruises were boring, but he went on cruises in the 80s and I'm pretty sure they've improved since then. Um, so this one has like a roller coaster water slide. So I'm
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
yeah, that in is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, but it has like so much. It's like a whole resort, like all different kinds of things. And then we get to port at 3 different spots in Mexico. And so my kids have never been out of the country, so they get to experience something new.
That's awesome. What parts of Mexico?
We're going to Cabo and then Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta.
Very cool. If you ever get a chance when you're down in Cabo, you should check out a place called Senor Frogs. It's where
Oh,
it's a bar, but it's just like where the kids go to party. Like it's just a young environment where you get the big old margaritas and stuff. It's great.
I feel like I've seen people take pictures at Senior Frogs. Like I know I've heard that before, but um, I don't know. I thought maybe it was in Vegas or something, but it's down in Mexico.
Yeah, it started down in Mexico.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Mr. Senior Frogs.
Oh,
That'll be fun. Yeah, we're just kind of I think we paid for 2 walking tours or something so we can see this 2 of the cities, but otherwise we're just flying by the seat of our pants. Like we're
awesome.
gonna go off how we feel, look up local food spots, like and just kind of wing it.
Yeah, about 20 minutes south of Puerto Vallarta, there is a little town called Tequila, and
Oh,
that's where they actually make tequila, and you can ride horses up the mountain and then take a zip line down.
oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I have we have a 4-year-old and 11-year-old, so we're like um getting them out there adventurous, trying new things. So all right, we've got a few more people popping on here. Well, welcome. Hello, everybody. Does anybody have any wins that they want to share? Doesn't matter if it was I made my bed this morning or I jumped out of an airplane or I landed $1 million deal. Like share your wins. We're going to celebrate you. Lisa.
I got a new bed.
Ooh, that's a big deal. We spent a lot of time in bed.
It's been 2 years since I've had a real bed.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's a win. So,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Well, I have a win myself. Sadie, you and I have talked about this, but my physical therapy is starting to pay off. So that's really, really good. I've been icing it twice a day, and I have another session this afternoon. So I'm really, really excited about that.
That is awesome.
And then I'm working on a new enrollment that I had yesterday. I did the new presentation yesterday for her, and it went really well. She's got actually some referrals for me that she's going to possibly have some gym owners.
That's awesome.
And then she does microblading on the side, so that would be a good tie into what she does.
Oh yeah, because she's literally in your face, in your pores, talking like about skin health. Like that's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is awesome. And then you have a guest here, Brian. Thanks for joining. He's
Yeah,
coming in
Brian.
from St. Louis. He was saying he just moved out there and it's a little cold.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he'd moved.
Indeed.
And we were talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in St. Louis now." He was in San Diego.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me here. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. This is our time to be with our community, like-minded people. We celebrate each other. We talk about relevant things. Like it was just something that everybody was kind of craving. Sometimes we're sick of Zoom, we're tired of it, but it's like this is a way that we can connect because we're all over. I mean, we have people from other countries sometimes pop on. We've got a friend down in Australia that will pop on and entertain us with her amazing accent. So it's just a
Awesome.
good opportunity to get together once a week. Sometimes we're a little bit more formal with like following along with our itinerary, and then other times we're just more casual, and we try to pick topics that are relevant, that are buzzwords that people are talking about, that we have knowledge on, and things like that, and just have like an open discussion. And then everything's recorded and put on our YouTube channel, so some people will just catch the replay, And we have our morning call and our afternoon or evening call. And really, we try to focus on giving people tools, things that you can use, value, knowledge, all of that stuff. We're accountability partners. So if you wanted to proclaim, hey, I'm working on this goal right now, it doesn't matter what it is, we'll be your accountability. And then we also are, what was the other one that I was telling you guys? We're support for each other, but we really are a place where everybody can come and feel comfortable. And so we're trying to really make our mission clear. I've had a few people like, what is it? What are you doing there? What's that team? What is it? So we're trying to simplify it, make it easy to understand. But sometimes we have additional leaders, different people from other teams, other walks of life, different career paths come on and share their story. And sometimes we all just kind of talk. So we didn't have a specific leader today, but does anybody feel like they want to share like a personal story with anything related to our topic today, which is ketosis? Yeah, we've got a couple people off camera, but
I could just share really quick, just like on cleanse days and how amazing it is. Oh, yeah. So you guys, I was so like someone who grew up on meat and potatoes, had to eat every couple of hours, ate just a ton of food. And I've gone through so many different transitions in my life. But when I learned about ketosis, obviously, like there's so much science and research behind it and how good it is for your body to start processing out the cells that are no longer working so that they don't get plugged up, causing plaque in our body, which leads to other health considerations. I'm sure Sadie's going to get into like the science behind it, but some of the benefits that I love as well is how it helps you grow as a person and become more resilient, how you build discipline. When you go a whole day and you're like, I'm not going to, my mind says I'm hungry. No, you're not. Like you can figure it out for one day. You can challenge yourself. Like so many times we go through life and we start getting stuck in your routine and it's very comfortable. I love habits. I love routine. My introverted me is like, I love it. However, you're never growing your mind, you're never growing your spirit, your body, you're not challenging yourself. And that is needed to live a glorious, like large life full of light and love, is to become a better you. But you can't do that without getting a little bit uncomfortable. So it's just kind of one simple way, besides all of the physical benefits there are to it and what it does for your body on a physical level. What it does for you is you can get through that, you become more resilient. And then when these other issues in life come and happen and you're stressed out because your kids are acting crazy or something happens at work or the ball drops here and you have to go through that, you're more resilient and you start handling it better because you're disciplined. And so it's just one way that we do that here in our community. And I love that.
it's so good. Yeah. Has anybody done, so we'll talk about how the cleanse that we use puts our body into ketosis in a safe way. Has anybody done keto outside of isogenics, like full on? So I'll tell. Oh, Angela.
Well, I just want to really quick just talk about, it's funny that we talked about this because I own a gym, a small personal training studio, and I have a woman. I have a lot of clients that come to me, like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Oh, I think, how many times have we heard, okay, I'm going keto. And I just like cringe. That's what I love about our program, is that we do get ourselves into ketosis, which is so awesome. But I just believe anything you do in excess is kind of like batshit crazy. Everything we need to be consistent, but just doing things in excess is just can be dangerous. So she has done keto, and yes, you can lose weight. We all know that. But so she just did her blood work, and she has been doing being keto, and then she kind of got off of it, but she did her blood work, and her blood work is not good, and it freaked her out. And so, and she's like, was still putting, she wasn't full on keto, but she was kind of doing it, kind of coming off of it, but still doing it. She was putting the butter in her coffee. I was like, okay, let's dial her back. And so then I talked to her about how you can do some keto stuff, but you can't do it in excess. So she's like off the butter in her coffee. She's working out now twice a week. We're talking about more protein. We're talking about intermittent fasting, and we're trying to get those numbers down. But it just makes me cringe when people want to go like keto, because so many times, usually something in the end happens, or they go off of it and they gain all the weight back and more. And it's so sad. But so that's just my little story, because it just happened. So I thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah, no, it's that's why we talk about stuff that's still like, floating around. We bump into it and see it all the time, but it just kind of like comes up in these stories. When I was working in the ER in Kansas, I had a smaller unit. It was a 10-bed ER. So we didn't have a ton of nurses, not compared to my, 90 employee ER that I worked at a trauma center. So we all knew each other pretty well. And there was a couple of gals who, they all want to do it as accountability. We're like, we're going to go all in for keto. And that was the first time I'd heard that it was like as a diet, because I heard about it from a like medical standpoint, like diabetic ketoacidosis, things like that. And I was watching one girl come to work every day with like the perfect little, boxes, little napkin folded, like her lunch was just perfect. And she was doing keto and it looked healthy. It looked good. She was, doing hard-boiled eggs. She was monitoring her fats. She was doing avocado, things like that. And I was like, okay, that looks good, but it not my favorite kind of food. But I was watching her do that and it was managing her PCOS symptoms. And then one of the other girls was coming in with these fat bombs that were like peanut butter rolled in coconut oil with cocoa something chocolate in there. And then she was eating bacon and she was having like no green in her food at all, because vegetables are bad, right? They're carbs. And so for the contrast of these women, the gal that was not doing it well, every time she'd quit, she'd gain weight even more. And she eventually got weight loss surgery. The one that had PCOS was struggling to get pregnant. She was doing ketosis consistently for years and didn't really lose a lot of weight. I think that she probably had some other metabolic issues, but eventually she got pregnant. And so her consistency with, eating healthy with her body's makeup and the genetics and the hormonal status of her did end up giving her a result that she was happy with. But I very much get concerned with blood work and things like cholesterol. They're not really taught to understand the difference in carbs. Like you can't look at carbohydrates as one entity. It's not just carbs are bad. You have to look at the different kinds of carbs and what each one of them does in your body and the nutrients. I'm a big nutrient fan versus like watching other things. So yeah, I wanted to share with you those two stark contrasts of what people do within keto. But really, to kind of go down a little bit of the science route, what you're doing is you're tricking your body to use its own energy storage for the energy that you expel. And so when we eat food, our body is going to first burn off the simple carbs and sugar. And so if you are going on a run, your body is going to burn through the easiest thing first. And that's going to be those, simple carbs, the sugar, stuff like that. Once you get past what is on the surface, that's when you start working into, the next layers in your body. And so when people work out, the goal is to work out to the layer that you're burning stored fat, if your goal is to lose weight, and not work out so hard that you're burning muscle. That happens sometimes with like elite training type people, like Army Rangers. They burn through their protein, so they have to eat really high protein, things like that. And so if you're not replenishing it well with high quality protein that your body's actually going to absorb and things like that, if you over exercise, you're going to burn through all of that stuff. So with a lot of people, when you're overeating your sugar and overeating the saturated fats and the carbs, all this processed stuff, you don't burn through what you're eating, and that's why you store. So when you put high fat diet like the keto diet, into your body starts burning through fat first, as opposed to the glucose. And there should be less sugar if you follow that diet, and there should be less carbs and stuff. So you're burning through the fat that you're eating, and then your body is like, I'm going to burn through the fat that's in this body as well. And so you are putting yourself into ketosis, and it is, for the most part, I'm not going to say all the time, but for most people, it's safe. You have to consult with your doctor if you have any sort of other comorbidities or anything like that. So when people follow the keto diet on that healthy path, they can have some great success. Now, when we tie it back into how Isagenix does it, we ensure that the body is supported and nourished. So it's not that we are just simply fasting and pulling out, all the toxins in our fat and our bloodstream. We are also flushing it out. And so that is the key difference with how we fast and how we add in that ketosis, is that we are burning through the visceral fat and actually flushing it out. And so talking also about fat loss, it used to be in my mind that the only way we lose weight is by going number 2. And so how many of you guys have known people that would get addicted to like laxatives because they think that that's how you flush things out? And so when you overdo laxatives and you're not actually putting fiber and probiotics and water into your body, then you're stuck between, I'm constipated or I can't stop going. So
Yeah.
there's nerves and stuff involved in your bowels and all these other things. But with actually how you burn off fat, it's through breathing, respiration, it's through urination as well, it's through sweating, it's through like microscopic ways of burning energy that we can't quite figure out because like we can't see on that level, right? So when you are exercising and you are breathing heavy and things like that, like you are expelling energy. And so aerobic exercise, I'm sorry, when you are doing that higher breathing rate, it's going to stimulate more of what's going on. So when we are cleansing, it is working through all of that fat, helping us eliminate it in a proper way, nourishing our organs instead of putting them in a stress state. When people fast on their own, it can be very stressful. So yeah, I mean, that's how we've been able to figure out ketosis and fasting and merge them together into this very, I like the term cleansing, like it cleanses your spirit, it cleanses your mind. It gives you that like excitement about, look what I'm able to do. We've all heard those stories of monks that, go on, 5-7 days without doing anything but water, and different people that do different, or even, you remember the different stories of children being caught in cave systems. I feel like one of them was in Chile, where these kids were exploring with their Boy Scout group, and they got caught in a cave, and they couldn't eat for a couple of days. And so people can survive, right? But really doing it the right way. And that's what is really cool about here. Does anybody else have anything they want to add, or any questions or anything?
Well, so I've been doing some keto a little myself, and through fat this company called Factor, I found some really good healthy alternatives. If you're looking for meal preps, it's really a good program that I've everything's done by dietitians and everything else is just amazing food.
Yeah, it can be done right, like really well. Mm-hmm. And it is good for hormone balance and stuff too. So we talked about hormones last week or the week before. And so, everything gets a bad rap, and there's going to be people that are going to do things wrong everywhere. And so the important thing is to educate yourself on it so you can decide for yourself if it looks like something that would make sense, and be able to, help anybody, whether they come in as a customer or an accountability partner, a friend, or anything like that. And so, just kind of spend some time learning about it, seeing what you're doing. Is anybody cleansing today? Just me all by myself. I'm cleansing today and tomorrow, really because I have no food in the house because we were trying to eat everything up before our cruise. So yesterday I was like,
that's an interesting excuse.
right. I know. I was like, yesterday I was like, I don't want to go to the grocery store. I guess I'll cleanse, which is good because then I feel like I will, go into the cruise feeling really good. I am not somebody who, like, I've done it before where I've gone on vacations and stuffed my face and I feel like crap the whole time and I don't end up, I'm off my routine and all that stuff. So like I'm going on this cruise, I've got my shakes, I've got my bars, I've got all my regular stuff, whatever, and I'm still going to enjoy myself, but I don't need to like overdo it. Like we're done with that. So yay. Okay. Our product today. So every week we have a different product that we're going to highlight. And, today we're talking about, where did it go? Isoflush. And so this is a digestive support product.
I love that.
Give me 1 second. Trying to get it on the screen here, but it's shaped funny. Let me fix it. I should be able to change the size. There we go. All right. So this is a great digestive support tool. What it does is it helps your body relax to digest better at night. And it does so with ingredients like magnesium, which helps relax muscles. A lot of people actually are deficient in magnesium. It's not a standard lab test that we do in your normal everyday blood work. But if you are at risk, or if you're noticing anything like, muscular, like cramping or anything like that, we'll check your magnesium to see if you're low. Some people will just go out and start taking magnesium, not even really knowing what it is, but it is very good to take at night because it does help to relax your body and especially your smooth muscle when it comes to digesting. If you are eating right before bed, or if your body is having a really hard time digesting something that you're eating that's not serving you, you're not going to sleep as well because all of your blood and all of your body's energy is rushed to your gut during the hours that you're supposed to be resting. And so the magnesium helps to kind of slow that down and work things out when you are awake. It also has bentonite clay, which is on its own a great supplement to take that helps with moving our bowels along. And then black walnut, which is something that can help people who do tend to get backed up. And so, and peppermint is in there as well, which has been a long time used remedy for everything from children to elderly, to help with the entire digestive system, not just your intestines and everything. So all this is a little capsule that you can take 1 or 2 at night. I always tell people to start with 1 just in case their body needs a little bit of adjustment, like with everything. But yeah, I'm somebody who kind of, I'll take it for a little while and then I'll kind of get off it for a little while and then I'll take it again. And I do always feel better with it. I do tend to notice that I feel much more refreshed, and I stay, not they all need to know this, I stay regular. So that's why sometimes I'll kind of like, maybe I'll buy something else instead. But this is just a staple. It's a standard. It's one of our best, solutions for people. So does anybody else have any like thoughts or ideas that they want to share about Isoflush?
It's an amazing product. I actually sleep better when I'm on it too. It's just like, and in fact, I actually forgot to take mine last night, which I'm kind of noticing a little difference. I'm not taking it.
Right.
I'll add too, I love the Isoflush, you guys. Like my doctor said when I was pregnant, he's like, take as much as you need. But I had always had gut issues and like constipation, things like that. The shakes helped, but the Isoflush was like amazing. And if you guys don't know, like excess hormones, Like the only way for your body to get like rid and process hormones is through sweating, which not all of us do every day, and bowel movements. And if you're not doing those two things, it builds up, and that's where you can have this testosterone or estrogen dominance or whatever. So making sure that you're regular is so important for so many reasons. But then I would take this, but then when we came out with the collagen, and I didn't realize, again, I had so many other like gut issues, the collagen like healed my gut. So now I go back and forth where if I'm taking the collagen consistently, kind of like Sadie said, like then I don't need my Isoflush, or I'll switch off if I don't feel like I need it, and then I'll kind of go back to the Isoflush. But it's really cool just to go to show like our products are never putting a Band-Aid on something. It's healing and helping your body heal what's actually going on the inside at a cellular level. So I'm obsessed with it too. It's like one of my favorite products.
Yeah. So good. Like, I love that everything is natural. It's supported. My husband asked the scientists and the formulators at our company, why don't we ever share any product that's just one thing? Because he was asking specifically about creatine. And he said that they pride themselves, Dr. Gump, it was actually who we talked to, they pride themselves on developing products that have the best in that particular field or goal. So like this is something that's for digestion and sleep. And so they researched everything that's out there and found the combination that made the most sense. And we have a no compromise guarantee. And so we're not going to sit here and throw in anything that doesn't matter. We're not going to sit here and leave out something that matters. If there's not enough research, we're not going to do it. If there's, a side effect or something that doesn't make sense, then we're not going to do it. We pick the best combination in everything. It's why our collagen isn't just collagen. It's also, aloe vera. It's also got biotin, and it's got all these other things. So there's no product that we have that is by itself just one simple thing, which I think is super awesome that they do that. So to kind of wrap up here, I will stop we try to stay at about 30 minutes. We usually have some sort of an assignment. Sometimes it's very clear, our topic is like an obvious one where it's like, well, now go out and do that. And so I'm not going to, ask you guys to go out and, be keto or anything. Sometimes it's something simple where if you're looking in the snack aisle and something is labeled as keto, take a look at the ingredients and look and see what's making it keto. Because anybody can slap the word keto on anything and sell. It's just like any, vegan, or if you put on Mediterranean diet or like low fat or anything like that. So if you look at the keto label, look at the fat and see, where's the fat coming from? And if you don't know the different kinds of fats, we can always do a topic on that. But, kind of notice what's going on there. And you'll notice that more of the stuff that is labeled keto is, it's a version of junk food. Like you're not seeing a fish dinner labeled keto. You know what I mean? Like it's so that's why when we find good companies like Factor, it's like, okay, this is legit. We've looked at the ingredients list and all of that. It's done right. And so, yeah, just always do your research. And if you're unsure, like at any moment you're out there in a grocery store and you're just like, I don't know about this, snap a picture of it, put in our group chat, feel free to message me, like we can sit there and kind of analyze it too and be like, is this something that you really want to do to meet your goals? If you're not in a weight loss and you just want to be healthier, if you are battling something like PCOS or high cholesterol, like let's look at the options here. So that's kind of your assignment. And our vision here at Team Unstoppable is to always have a seat at the table for anybody who is looking for a community, especially in support and accountability and tools to help you with your health journey and your health goals. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now.